Welcome to Eyes on Eorzea Unchained, a roundtable discussion, completely unscripted, talking about whatever we fancy. Today's topic will be Patch 3.5, The Far Edge of Fate, which will debut Part 1 in mid-January and Part 2, 3.55, in March. With me today is my good friend, real life and in-game, Luna Selo, aka JD. Hello, JD.
How's it going, y'all?
And I'm happy to have you here, my friend. Sari is not with us today. She is at work, because real life happens. hopefully, hopefully next time she'll be able to be here for it. Thanks for coming on, my friend.
That's no problem, man. Always happy to help.
So, I know you're an on-again, off-again player who, I guess you kind of fall into the same category I do as a phrase that I've coined several times in the past, excuse me, a casual core player, a casual player who likes to dabble on the hardcore side.
Yeah, I do enjoy a good difficult challenge.
And I think that, well, depending on how things go, this entire thing is going to go one of two ways. This entire patch looks like it's going to be an overhaul in certain areas, and that's what we're going to talk about today. So if you're ready, brother, let's get this thing started.
All right, sounds good to me.
All right, so I'm taking this from the. I watched the live letter as it happened and tried to translate it as I go because my Japanese is a little rusty, but I got the general idea of it.
Well, I didn't know you knew Japanese.
Yeah,
Just
that's
an off shot there. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I speak a little bit, but I'm using the notes that Mr. Happy and Marko. Marko, you're an awesome guy. Thanks for translating as usual. I know you have no idea who I am, but I'm a fan. I'm a follower. Awesome job as always. So, I'm using his notes. I will leave a link to those in the description below for anybody who wants to see them. And his translation and the one that I kind of did while watching at the same time are pretty close. So that just means that I'm not as rusty as I thought. Patch 3.5 is going to be called The Far Edge of Fate. The logo portrays the Warrior of Light surrounded by Alphino, Alice, Ida Papalymo, and Tupasamadi in the center. They say that the far edge is very important in the title. And some of the things that we're going to be getting right off the bat are new Warring Triad quests, which I am really excited about. You've done everything so far except for Sophia?
Yeah.
We need to get you
so
that
far.
done.
Yeah, I've kind of slacked on the newer things with the release of a few new things, but I need to get in there and slay those things.
I'm kind of shocked that Sophia Extreme is as forgiving as it is. One of the things that kind of caught me off guard is you've done Titan Extreme, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay, so in Titan Extreme, if you get knocked over the edge, you don't come back. You know this.
Yeah, you're just hard dead.
Well, in Sophia Extreme, if you get thrown over the edge, you can come back. You land back on the platform, dead as a doornail. That was a very unexpected change, very uncharacteristic of SE. Some like it, some don't. Me personally, I'm indifferent on it. I'm kind of on the divide as to what's going to happen in the future. But yeah, let's have your take on it, JD.
I don't necessarily mind it because well, yeah, it is a little bit of a forgiving mechanic that you're not just permadead and out of the fight for good. Like, you still gotta be rezzed. That's still a drain on the raid. And if the fight, other mechanics are hard enough, like, it might not, having that person or persons fall off and die and need to be rezzed could still be a huge hindrance in the fight and not make it,
She does have that hard timer rage. I think it's 11 minutes.
Yeah, like, you can't always just be sitting there wasting time trying to res up people who are dumb enough to fly off the edge.
The casual player in me is excited because we're getting more Hildebrand quests. Heavensward
Hildebrand's a
Hildebrand
bro.
is my dude. He's my bra. I'm really excited for those. The Scholasticate, the more serious side of. I'm really starting to get into that because it's really interesting. It's like the Hildebrand storyline, but without Hildebrand, and I really
Not
like
nearly
it.
as goofy.
It's not goofy at all, and that's one thing that I really like because it's an actual mystery without all the dumbassery.
So I kind of like the theaters or the theatrics, but it wouldn't be bad to try that. I don't know that I've started that yet.
Hildy is extremely over the top. I really love it because it's a nice change of pace from all the seriousness and all the grinding and everything. And I'm looking forward to seeing what happens in that area, but at the same time, the Scholasticate quests are a really nice change of pace also because you still get your break from the nitty-gritty and you still get a nice mystery in between, and I'm a real big mystery fan.
Yeah, like it sounds really cool. I'm gonna have to definitely give it a shot because I've done. I don't think I've fully completed up to current content for Hildebrand, but I've done a decent bit into it, and just long quest chains in general are always fun. They give you something to do.
For reference, you haven't been back very long, so you haven't experienced all of the content up to this point yet. But you know, I'm just using this for reference for the audience because you know, so they're just so they know, you know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, so new dungeons, and I'm real excited about because I kind of want to see where they're gonna go with this. Can they top this patch? Because
It's gonna be hard.
the dungeons in this patch were legit. They had actual
They were.
mechanics, and they weren't just tedious, just blow-throughs. And I really enjoy them. I still enjoy them to now.
Oh yeah, no, like they're far better than where we started out with this expansion. Having to run that Vanu dungeon 500 times in a row was literally the worst thing of my week, but now it's pretty fun. Like dodging all the meteors from the
dolls.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start off. We're getting Belsar's Wall, which is obviously a reference to Gaius von Belsar's overtaking of Alamigo from pre 1.0. It is the wall that divides Garabania from the rest of Eorzea. Obviously, we're going to go to the other side of that wall in the expansion, which I'm very excited about.
Gonna be mad hype.
The screenshots for that looked really nice. It looks like another castrum area, even though it's a 4-man dungeon. I'm wondering if the speedrunners are going to try to find a way to sneak around, or if that's even going to be an option.
I think it will be.
And the other one is Som All Hard. You know, if you remember Som All, we climbed to the top of the mountain in the part 1. This time we're going down it.
Oh, so we'll start at the final boss and then work our way down where it was.
I'm supposing so.
'Cause that was the top of the mountain.
Yeah. I'm really excited for these dungeons. Because, and we'll get to the next part of that in a little bit, but because of some aesthetic changes, and I'm talking, of course, about the chocobos, I'm kind of curious to see if they're going to up the difficulty at all, because you're going to be able to have your chocobos out as pets.
They're going to have to. Having 4 people running around with those, with four more new party members in a 4-man dungeon seems real strong.
I mean, otherwise it's going to be broken right off the bat, and then... I mean, obviously, as the gear scales up, the difficulty will go down, and then it's just going to be broken anyway. But I'm okay with it being easy once we get there. I don't want it being stupid easy when we start.
Yeah, because then you just get bored of it even faster, and that's not good for a game's life.
Moving on to the next part, and I'm ashamed to say that I have not done Weeping City, but
We need to run that out one day.
yeah, we do. You know, I'm lazy, and I don't feel like waiting on the party sometimes. So I just avoid it. But the new 24 is called Dunscaith. It's the Fortress of Shadows. It is the finale of the Void Arc Triad.
So that means we'll probably see Diabolos in there, won't we?
More than likely, I'm thinking. It says here in the notes that the story will reach its finale here, but there may be remaining loose ends. So, Diabolos Part 3, maybe?
More than likely. I wonder what they'll do if Diabolos is actually a boss fight in that. Because he, you know, I mean, you know him from the other, like, all the older Final Fantasies. He always had crazy mechanics, putting people to sleep, poisoning them, hitting their nightmares and stuff.
It would be kind of cool if they recreated the 11 fight. I actually enjoyed that one.
That was one of those I missed, but I bet if it's like any of his other incarnations, it was probably ridiculous.
Okay, well, so in 11, if you weren't standing in the right place, he would literally pull the floor out from underneath you.
Yeah.
And there would be dynamites waiting for you at the bottom of your fall. That would murder you.
Oh, I'm assuming, knowing 11, you could hardly take more than one creature. He just probably swarmed you and you hard died.
Oh yeah, it was over right then and there. There was no... But that, well, of course, this was back... I'm obviously referring to back in the days when 11 was actually a challenge and not what it is now. But that's an entirely different story that I'll go into another day. Or else I'll be on this topic for hours and I'll lose subscribers hand over fist. The first boss is going to be on an airship. Others will be in different districts of the fortress. I mean, I'm not real big into the 24-man stuff anymore because a lot of the, sometimes it's hit or miss with these things. Sometimes you get really good groups, other times not so much.
If you go early on in the raid's life when it first comes out, yeah, you're gonna catch a lot of dumb groups, but it gets better as it gets older. Like, if we go and do Weeping City now, like, it won't be nearly as much of a nightmare as it was.
I don't know. Some of my free company mates still tell me that they get dumbass groups.
I'm sure it still definitely happens.
80% of the time, at least.
Ugh.
Because you'll either get trolls or you'll just get people who screw the mechanics, just do whatever. But
yeah.
You know, whatever it is.
I guess it's a hand-on-hand basis.
Now we're gonna get into the meat of this bad boy. Containment Bay Z1T9 Zervon, the Demon King of the Warring, or the Demon of the Warring Triad. I am legit excited about this.
I think it's gonna be real hype.
You know, the previous incarnation of the Warring Triad was amazing. I really love it. Final Fantasy XIV's take on it has been really, really good.
Final Fantasy XIV's been on a roll with their storyline things.
I mean, yeah,
just in general.
It's had its ups and downs, but lately it's been more ups than downs, in my personal opinion. Other people might disagree, but you know, to each their own. The Warring Triad will reach its finale with this quest, and as it should, because we're definitely not going to see the end of Final Fantasy VI here.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know, man. They like to throw in their little references.
Yeah, but if I see Kefka after this, I'm gonna be kind of pissed off.
It could be some weird deformed version of God Kefka. You never know.
Um,
I mean, any excuse to get to listening to Dancing Mad again is always fine with me.
you know, I mean, I'm okay. I'm okay with a little bit of nostalgia here and there, but like, Mr. Happy and I've talked about this before. I wouldn't be a fan of somebody like Kefka or Sephiroth just showing up in 14 just because.
There probably need to be a good reason why, if even at all.
I mean, it's not Kingdom Hearts,
Yeah.
which I'm perfectly fine with them in Kingdom Hearts, but if they just showed up randomly in Eorzea, I would just kind of be like, what? I mean, yeah.
Now, to be fair, for Sephiroth, I can understand him showing up just because he rides to the live stream all the time. I'd be more surprised if Cloud showed up.
Yeah, I could, yeah. But I mean, like, I mean, I know we've had past events where we've gotten Lightning and Dr. Shantoto from Final Fantasy XI, but and as well as the other chick from Final Fantasy XI.
The Samurai Armor Girl.
Yeah, Iroha.
I think that was her name.
I think so. Off the top of my head, like I haven't been awake very long.
It's been a hot minute.
Yeah, it's but, yeah, Aroha. If I butcher the translation or the pronunciation of her name, sue me. It's okay. And I understand because in those cases, you know, Lightning just jumping from world to world. You know, and a lot of people have theory crafted that 14 is kind of like a hub world.
It seems that way so far.
I mean, you know, how else did the Crystal Towers show up and stuff like that? I mean, yeah, the Alagon, but it's one of those things where, and then Dr. Shantoto, that one directly correlates with Shantoto's Ascension from 11, where, spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't completed it.
By now, at least.
You know, it's at least, I don't know, 6 years out. You know,
It's had a little bit of time to get it done.
You've had a little bit of time. I think I've given it enough of a grace period to talk about it here. Excuse me.
Knowing it, though, someone will write you an angry letter.
More than likely. It'd be like on The Simpsons that one time back in the 80s. Old man yells at Cloud. You know, Shantoto accidentally warped herself into another world while an evil duplicate of her stepped out and took her place. So, I can kind of see that because she could have accidentally wound up in Eorzea. I mean, hell, another spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't played 14. She is referenced in the Black Mage storyline.
I also like to think eventually characters in Final Fantasy get so powerful they just go wherever they please.
Kind of like Dissidia.
Yeah, like there's the way they work the Final Fantasy realm and series. It's just gods can just do whatever they please, and they pull champions here and there to wherever.
I want to play the arcade game, the one that's in Japan right now.
It looks so beautiful. I need it to come to America, or at least consoles.
Well, they said
I'd import it if it
would
came
be
to
a
console.
year, so look forward to it sometime in 2017, or in the great words of our Lord and Savior Yoshi P. Otano Shimini. Hi.
They put my boy Ramza in that game. I can't wait to go on a roll with him.
Oh man. All right, moving on. Okay, so you know Chloe in Shire.
Yeah.
Okay, so get ready to meet. I'm gonna suppose because they share the same last name, a sister, Zloe Aliapo.
Yeah.
Which is going to give a new book for gather and crafting content. You raise the satisfaction levels of specific NPCs by handing them requested crafted and gathered items. It says that glamour elements will play a role here. It'll be introduced in 3.5 and expanded upon in 3.55. I am kind of interested to see where this goes.
I think it'll be good. It'll just give crafters further something else to do other than just mindlessly going out, farming, getting paid.
I mean, I know it says that glamour elements will play a role here, and I think that's going to be cool.
Yeah.
Because everybody knows glamour is the true end game.
It is. No, if you're not playing Fashion Fantasy XIV, you're not playing it at all.
Damn right. Fashion Fantasy XIV, trademarked by JD and Sam. Please don't sue.
That's the dream, man.
Alright. Moving on. Exploratory Missions 2.0. Pre-existing exploratory missions will be heavily updated. You'll be able to determine what missions you want to participate in. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Because the Diadem got old. I mean, it was awesome on day 1, but by day 2, it was...
Yeah, you done did it, and that was it.
The map itself is going to change from what it was before. I'm okay with that, too.
Yeah. It's a very much so work in progress kind of thing, and it's good to see that they didn't abandon ship on it.
The concept of it is great, but the execution, I felt, left a little bit to be desired.
Yeah.
I mean, it was literally, you go in, you gather all the flying points, and then everybody migrates to one area and kills shit.
Yeah.
I mean...
Not really exploring, just kind of moseying about.
It's fate grinding without the fate. Or the experience.
Yeah.
It's kind of like what Dynamis would be without currency. Speaking of which, I'm looking forward to Forbidden Land of Eureka. They're talking like it's going to be 14's version of Dynamis.
It's gonna be real high.
I'm looking forward to it. They're saying it's going to directly relate to the Relic storyline, and I am okay with that.
Oh yeah, because the Relic stories have been pretty solid.
I mean, I'm a total masochist because I finished one and I'm working on another. But and no offense to anybody out there who has multiple relics, but when you're like us and you work a third shift job and time is really an issue, it can be a little killer.
Not even that. It's just sometimes I like a good quest where, you know, the requirements are kind of not fun to go after, but when it's done, it really feels good because you went and did all that. But 14 sometimes goes a little overboard. I'm not always a fan of having to do something for 4 weeks straight before I see any form of, you know, any form of reward.
Oh my god.
That wears on you.
You're preaching to the choir right here on that.
Especially back in the day when at the start of this expansion, when the relic weapons were not the best in slot weapons, so you spent all that time to do it, and you're like, why did I even do this?
Well, even now,
do I hate myself?
I mean, now they're at least top 3, but by next patch, they'll probably be obsolete again. I mean, there is a 270 weapon now, obviously, but there's also the 260 weapons that you get from doing Alexander. They are okay. I'm
like
okay with the
I respect the
axe
fact that
but
they're. It's not your It's not your effort weapon.
Yeah. I mean,
I respect that it's not the top DPS weapon, because that should still go to the hardest content so that it gives people a reason to keep doing it.
Oh yeah.
But for it to not be viable at all, that
is a slap in the
something
face.
they need to. Yeah, that's something they need to always make sure it never happens, which it does, and it's
they are very bad for it. And this is the second MMO they have gotten really bad for it on. I remember in 11 when my relics became obsolete, and we had to wait for I don't have Jason or Joel here to correct me on this, but like almost 6 freaking months before we got any kind of satisfaction out of it. And
Ugh.
even then, 3 months later, our relic weapons were obsolete again.
That's not what's up.
I mean, I understand now that they've kind of balanced everything out, and it's okay. But too little, too late, I guess.
Yeah.
Not directly in 3.5, but Diadem will be unavailable starting in 3.5 until new exploratory missions changes are implemented sometime in 3.5x, which I'm going to take a guesstimate here, which will probably be like a month and a half into it.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I mean, that's going off of...
Maybe 2 months at the most.
Yeah.
They won't want to wait too long on that.
Achievements for current Diadem will be adjusted for the rework. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think you really get anything for these achievements anyway, so no big deal. I may be wrong on that, and if I am wrong, let me know.
You know someone out there is hard on that achievement plan, but yeah, if they don't give a little reward, I don't normally worry too hard about that.
Now, we're going to go into something that I've been waiting for since I started playing this game. Party Finder updates. Window will
What
allow...
kind of updates?
Oh, this is big. You're going to love this. If you've got buddies that are on the same data center, yeah. Window will change to allow a choice between server-only, entire data center, or all Party Finder duties in both categories. Data center-wide Party Finder options are being implemented. Players will still have the option to only recruit for their server, but it opens up the ability for people across servers to play together for instance content. Cross-server only works for content and duty or raid finder, and party chat can be used once you join a Party Finder group, even if you're on different servers.
Now, if you don't have them on a buddies list, can you still use that feature?
Yep.
That'd be real nice.
Because what you'll do is you'll set up a Party Finder for data center wide, and everybody on that data center will be able to see it. And the only thing they have to do is look for your name, and biggity bam, there you go.
That'd be real nice.
And I've got buddies all over Primal, so that's going to be great. Because a lot of us, we don't want to transfer servers because we're happy where we are.
And you know, to be honest, it gets expensive when you server jump so many times.
Yep. Adjusting the blacklist to work cross-server. Now, I wonder if they're going to up the limit of people that you can blacklist, because mine is still full of RMTs.
Oh yeah, no, they need to. I hit that limit a while back with a nifty little Marko I made, and I'm having to delete names just to keep filling it.
Party Finder filters will narrow down recruitments that you're searching for. Now the thing about this is going to be, like Palace of the Dead and Diadem will be updated into the Party Finder sometime later. It won't be available at the launch. You could password lock recruitments, which will be cool, because then you can definitely make it to where you can be with your friends, and I'm fine with that. And so this is going to mean that you can start doing a cross-server static with your friends, and I am fine with that.
Yeah, no, that'd be real good.
About damn time, SC. Thumbs up from me. Alright.
It was a needed feature, but at least it's coming.
Yeah. I wish it would have been here back in 2.x. But these things take time, and good things come to those who wait.
Yeah, and as the old saying goes, better late than never.
Yep. PvP.
Yeah, that's a touchy subject with Final Fantasy in general.
Yeah, but I'm liking where this is going. I do PvP every once in a while. Some of you watching may have seen me there a few times. Grand company requirements have been abolished for frontlines. You can still choose to use GC requirements, but no thanks. And the
That'd be nice.
reason for this is because in 4.0 we are getting a new and bigger PvP content. I'm okay with this.
Yeah, they need to keep working on it, because that'll just... Eventually they'll get there, and they'll legitimize it.
You will finally, freaking finally, be able to use Free Company and Link PvP.
Free Company what?
Free Company chat and Link Shell chats. Because
That'd be nice.
chat in general was cut off before.
Which is... I don't like that. They need to quit doing that.
I mean, I've gotten into PvP against some of my Free Company mates, and we've had a smashing good time. And former Free Company mates as well.
It'd be nice to at least chat with them instead of just nothing.
In terms of smashing good time, I'm talking to you, Reday. Remember that time that I accidentally massacred your summoner like 4 times in a row and didn't even know it was you? Sorry about that. But not sorry at all.
Real rude over here. Oh, getting real rude over here.
Oh, she's my buddy. She knows I say it with love. She's probably going to kill me later.
It's fine.
It's fine. It's
totally fine.
Ability dueling. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
The ability to eye level sync duels to I-150. I'm fine with this. 150 is kind of a odd number. I honestly, I think it should be to where you could sync it to the closest possible eye level that both of you are at. But 150 is a good start. I'm sure they'll probably...
Yeah.
Oh, wait, never mind. Hold on, never mind. I just got ahead of myself here on this. Ability to sync gear to the host's item level.
There you go.
There we go.
Pretty nice.
There we go. I'm fine. Unsynced can still be done. I'm cool with that. Recast timers reset at the start of a duel. That'll be nice because...
Oh yeah, if you pop like a big long cooldown and then at the duel's over want to go into another one, you won't have to wait.
Big shout out to the Famfrit community Facebook page. We've gotten together on several occasions over there and have just dueled for the hell of it. They do events every Friday night. So if if you're... I'm not even sure you're even aware of this, JD, but I'll have to send you a link to it later. But we got a nice little community going on, and pretty tight-knit group of people. Big shout out to them. Love you guys, obviously. I've made some really good friends doing that. Some of the events, I even sponsored one once. Good stuff, really good stuff.
Yeah, I'll have to jump in on that.
Because we do all kinds of silly little events, whether, we've done everything from foot races to hide and seek, cops and robbers, you name it. It's just something
that sounds pretty...
Yeah, it's just really good stuff. The Feast. New maps will have the same rules. Will be introduced in 3.55 when the current season ends. The new map is shown to be in the Black Shroud.
That won't be too bad. Nice little forest map.
Yeah, that'll be nice. Chat will be disabled during battles. That's fine. Due to the majority of chat containing harassment and not actual strategy. Gee.
Duh.
Toxic community much?
Go figure. People in an online game are being disrespectful towards each other.
Yeah, could be worse. New targeting commands and auto-translate actions will be implemented for strictly strategic discussions. These new commands and actions are actual buttons for your hotbar.
I don't know if I like that now.
I am fine with it. Because...
And I feel like bars are cluttered enough as it is. Trying to fill it up with commands and stuff.
Well, see, like, if you're a controller player like me, but I have all of my stuff committed to muscle memory, and I don't use every single one of my hotbars, it wouldn't be anything for me to slap these buttons on another bar and just know when to hit R1 down and then choose my command and go back to my normal stuff. Not really a big deal. Keyboard and mouse players who don't use all of their buttons could just add another macro bar to their list and just, I don't know, throw it up in the corner or something. And use it for one of their UIs or whatever. But these actions are for the feast only, so it's not really... I haven't participated in Feast and I don't know why.
I've done it a few times. It's different, to say the least.
Because that's something that is honestly right up my alley, and I don't know why I haven't touched it. Go figure. Go figure. I don't play the things that I know I would love, and still somehow wind up playing the things that I despise. Go figure. Now, here we go, moving on to a hot button issue, which has brought me to question whether or not they're going to increase the difficulty of dungeons. Chocobo companions.
Yeah.
Improvements to the companion system. Duty Finder will now be able to be used while your Chocobo companion is present. Companions will appear in the party list the same way as pets.
So, I think it'll be good, but if Chocobos keep their same level of power that they have now, with 4 of them running around in addition to the 4 players, I feel like it's gonna decimate stuff.
My question is, I actually have a couple of questions on this, and I don't really... by this point, I was paying attention, but not enough to sit back and say whether or not they answered what I'm about to ask. If your Chocobo goes down, will you be able to bring it back?
I would imagine.
And for the summoners, scholars, machinists, anybody that's got a pet job, I just named all of them, whatever. Your Chocobo and your normal pet can be out at the same time. That's pretty cool.
God, there's going to be a literal zoo in some dungeons if you get the right classes.
Oh yeah. Oh, just imagine a party with 2 summoners, or 2 summoners, a scholar, and whatever your tank is. You'll have a fairy, 2 Eggies, and 4 Chocobos out there. PlayStation 3 players, the PS3 will explode upon impact.
They sure will. But then again, PlayStation 3 players don't have a whole lot more time left anyway.
The clock is winding down.
At this point, I understand things can be hard for people, but I feel like at this point, PlayStation 4s have been on sale enough that PlayStation 3 owners should have been able to upgrade.
Who knows, before it's over, they might do like they did with the Xbox 360 to Xbox One, where you could trade it in and get a substantial credit towards the purchase of one.
That'd be nice.
But because they're no longer party members, you'll need to manually target a party member's Chocobo to see its HP like you do with pets at present. I'm okay with that.
That's fine. That'll be fine. It won't take up space on a party bar, which can be annoying. Though, will that feature, I wonder, apply when you're normally just running around with your Chocobo? Like, if it's just me and my bird doing random whatever?
I would say so, probably.
I guess I don't mind that.
Now, here's one that I have gotten some mixed opinions on. Me personally, since I don't really play the class anymore, it doesn't really bother me. But Eggy Glamours. Not exactly what we were hoping for, but it's going to change eventually. The outward appearance of Garuda Titan and Ifrit Eggies can now be altered. You'll have to complete a relevant quest and unlock the feature. It's going to allow you to change its appearance using text commands.
Oh, like /alter or something like that?
I guess. Other players will be able to see it.
Did they show off what any of them will look like?
No. But I've got a feeling that closer to patch time they'll show it, and it'll be. Personally, yeah. I really don't care about this.
It's if you're one of those people that play it, it's a nice thing because then it lets you just further customize your character and lets you have that much more closer to what you want feeling, that unique feeling.
Still, I would rather, instead of seeing this, where's Leviathan? Where's Ramu? Where's Shiva?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, these were things that they said that they were probably going to implement at some time in the future. Now we're talking about skin changes? I mean,
you gotta think though, and because it's something you realize in WoW too, it's better to appease the immediate things like letting you customize looks than go for the larger stuff, because people in general are just gonna be more pleased with a silly little skin as opposed to a, you know.
But my thing is personally, this is personal opinion. They should have added more summons from 50 to 60.
Yeah, it'd have been nice.
It would have been nice. Add those on top of the skills that you're getting. Maybe do Leviathan at 52, Shiva at 54, Ramu at 56, whatever. And then add job abilities on top of that. I mean, shit, a couple of the other jobs already have 2 quests at a certain level. Why not?
They might just be waiting for the right time to spring it.
I mean, personally, I feel like that there's going to be a friggin' summoner riot if we don't see a new Eggy between 60 and 70.
Oh yeah, no, if they don't get something new other than like a few random assortment of spells and dots, yeah, no, that's gonna be real bad for the class.
I mean, I remember going back, and I know I talk about Final Fantasy XI a lot, but I remember for years, summoners griped about wanting a new summon. And I mean, we griped, for myself included, because I played summoner for a while. Loved the class, awesome class. You know, and we griped and griped and griped until we wound up getting Odin and Atomos is a 2-hour. No, Odin and Alexander. Atomos came later. So did Kate Sith.
God, you got Alexander in 11 eventually?
It was part of the 2-hour ability.
That's still hype, though.
Odin would defeat enemies or do heavy damage in a straight line, and Alexander would bolster the party's defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they were both really good astral flow abilities. They were really good.
I really need to go back and take 11 for one last ride.
I'm considering it. Because
if you do, let me know, because I might just snap it off on Steam next time it goes on sale, which will probably be around Christmas time.
You don't even have to buy it anymore. You can go straight to playonline.com and pick up the entire thing for free. All you have to do is set up a PlayOnline account and pay for a subscription.
I didn't know that. I thought you had to still buy all of 11.
Nope.
Oh, that makes it even better then.
Because the last time I re-upped my sub, that was what I did.
Because I had the base game, but Lord, if I don't even remember that information anymore. That means I have to go through Play Online again. That's always a nightmare.
Yeah.
Thank you, Square Enix, for moving away from that.
The most useless thing for the last 15 years.
So terrible.
I remember when it launched for Final Fantasy IX.
Ugh.
Because that was when Play Online officially launched, was at the beginning of Final Fantasy IX.
They should have abandoned that thing. They should not have let that ride as long as it did. I remember playing 11 for like the first time, and like it would hard just shut me down because like it wouldn't want to download patches or whatever on the PlayStation.
Yeah, PS2 Limitations for the win. I'm kind of surprised that in all of the time that I've been playing 14 that we've not heard the phrase uttered by the dev team PS3 Limitations. Because it was so popular with the devs on Final Fantasy XI and the PlayStation 2.
It might be a deal they've worked out with Sony, but they've been pretty good on that. They've kept the respect for the PS3.
No, this time it's just a player base now that doesn't.
Yeah, which is sad, because the PS3 was a really solid system, even though it was pretty flawed at the start.
I mean, it's given us 10 good years.
Yeah.
A lot of systems nowadays can't say that.
Heck, the Xbox 360, while it was a really good system, that thing was literally made out of paper. The PS3 was a very durable, very long-lasting system.
I remember when I got my 360 ages ago, I went through 6 of them in the first year.
I don't doubt that at all.
I red-ringed every single one of those things. And Microsoft was kind enough to replace every single one of them. Thanks for that, by the way. But yeah,
they knew.
We're straying off. Well, no, not really, because I'm still thinking and hoping that eventually they'll be able to work something out to get 14 over to the Xbox One.
I think that'd be more of a Microsoft's
it's on
play, because I feel it.
Because in order to get 11 on the Xbox One, or the Xbox One, the 360, excuse me, they had to make it to where you didn't need Xbox Live to play it.
Which should be a big no-no for...
Yeah, that's the thing that's holding it back on 14 right now, from what I understand.
You think they'd get over that now, since they've become so unified with Windows?
Yeah, I mean, don't they have share play with Windows now?
Every game. Every game has that. Well, maybe not their older ones, but their current idea is going forward, every game will be split. Like you'll be able, like the new Dead Rising, you'll be able to buy it for either Windows or for the Xbox One.
PC players don't have to pay.
Yeah, like
I mean, it's a cash grab, but that's entire story another story altogether. You know, that's just a thing.
A whole nother beast to wrangle.
Yeah. Moving on. The Novice Network, and I still need to friggin' level a healer to 60 so I can become a mentor, because I was a mentor for years on 11, and I kind of missed that.
I was just saying, I'm kind of surprised you aren't already.
Yeah, I'm lazy. Hashtag don't judge me. Players will be asked to confirm that they wish to join the network after being invited, and players can opt out. Kind of defeats the purpose of being a mentor if you don't want to help the novices.
Yeah, like, but you know, people, it's just another title to add to the mix, so they're gonna go for it.
I saw something the other day that kind of teed me off.
What was that?
There was a player who was paying Greenleafs to get into party with them so they could do the mentor roulette and get their achievement faster.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that's...
I mean, I get you. It's really annoying, but you knew it would be a thing eventually. People wouldn't really care that oh, I don't really want to help people, but there's fat gets and achievements to go for. We'll do it.
I mean, it kind of irks me being a player that legitimately likes to help other players.
But it doesn't, like, in the end, like, they're not helping the community. They're just in it for their own good, which that's not the point of that program.
I mean, maybe Squirrel will do something about it in the future. I highly doubt it, but whatever. It is what it is. This one could kind of apply to you, since you sometimes sit the game down and don't come back for a while.
Yeah, I fall out of the loop every now and then.
Well, you know, a lot of players do, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's one of those things because content can get stale, or you might not be able to pay for your sub or whatever. In your case, it's playing other games, and you know that's fine. Yeah. But a new player status is going to be introduced. Returning players. It's to help let people know someone is playing the game again after taking a break. This status becomes available if you've not logged in for 45 or more days.
Yeah, no, that'd be real nifty.
A window will pop up asking you if you want to use this status, but it requires you to be level 50 or higher.
I'm okay with that, because there's so many times I'll see, like, this new patch coming out, and I'll be like, oh, well, you know, I've had my stint, you know, playing other games for a bit. I think it's time to go back to 15 and jump in. And I'll be like a deer in the headlights. I'll be like, I have no idea what I'm doing right now.
That's why I'm always saying, you know, hit me up at work. We'll get together. We'll figure this thing out. And since we've been, you know, you and I have partied here for the last little bit, and it's been really fun. I really enjoyed it.
But I'm needing a hard catch up so we can move on to more advanced things.
Returning players will be able to use the Novice Network. I'm okay with that, but I don't see it happening.
I feel like some people will, but it probably won't be as hard used as I bet Square Enix is hoping it will be.
And you'll be able to gain an experience boost by forming a party with a mentor, just like new players. Now that I am on the fence on. I think it could be good, but at the same time, I also think it could be bad.
I guess it depends on how abusable it'll be.
I mean, yeah, it takes 45 days for it to go into effect, but somebody will figure out a way to exploit it.
Well, even then, it might become a thing where people will be like, oh, play the game super hard on that time. I think it's time to just hard take a break. We might see waves of players coming and going in days of 45.
Now, my big thing is going to be right before the expansion. I see the populace dying off so they could exploit this system for the return of 60 to 70. So they can get fast leveling for the ones of us that are going to keep playing all the way up too.
Yeah.
And I kind of think that's cheap.
It's not the best, but I mean, that's people. They're going to find a way to exploit anything.
And I mean, don't take me wrong, folks, you know, I'm all about trying to get there as quick as I can, but using a legitimate system to bolster your rank to get somewhere faster than everybody else just because you want that world first, I don't think any less of you for it, but at the same time, oh, come on. If you're gonna hardcore grind, just hardcore grind. A big question that I've got about this, though, aside from my personal opinion on this, is how long is that returning player status going to be available? And how long will you be able to use the Novice Network?
Hopefully the Novice Network will be a more long-term thing, but I don't feel like for the returning players, they shouldn't make it more than a week. If even that, like, it should be longer than a day. Because for any new expansion, to try and pick everything up that's new in a day might be a little rough. But I'd say anywhere for like 3 days to maybe a week. You know?
Yeah.
I think that'd be fair.
Okay. Another more updates is going to be you'll be able to preview item colors on the equipment screen.
That'd be nice.
That'll be nice. Paintings will be added as furnishings. They are not screenshots turned into paintings. They are pre-made paintings for furnishings. They made that clear very quickly. And sightseeing log will unlock different paintings. So I'm figuring that it's going to be stuff like out of the sightseeing log, different views from different areas, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, it's a nice little customization feature.
Some of the views in the game are absolutely breathtaking.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, no, like that'll be real nice. Go to your favorite zone, find one of your favorite views, stick it up in a painting.
Okay.
I think that'll be a nice little update.
There's a possibility that they might release 3.55 later to help bridge the gap in 3.5 in the expansion based on player feedback prior to Heavensward.
Do we have an actual date for the expansion? Or is it just current summer of 2017?
Summer of 2017. Mr. Happy speculates it's going to be sometime around June.
When did Heavensward come out?
May. I believe it was May.
A June release wouldn't be too bad. Be a little over a year or so.
I'm looking forward to it. I'm wanting to know what the new jobs are and what's going to be what, because a lot of my friends and I theory craft on this stuff, which I'll probably do some more of here pretty soon. That theory video I did on the Warriors of Darkness, people seem to enjoy it. I'm thinking about giving it a comeback.
Well, I think after December we'll get a lot more information. I think it'll start rolling out, and then I think it'll be good.
Well, the next live letter is during the Japanese Fan Festival, December 24th and 25th. So set your alarm clocks for Christmas Day.
I was going to say, we might actually catch some information then. I think in this weekend, the PlayStation experience?
Yes, I do believe so.
I wonder if Square will show up with anything.
Anything's possible.
Either related to 14 or anything in general. Kind of like they like to save little tidbits for events like that.
Alright, so before we end the show off, I'm just going to ask you straight up. What do you think the new jobs are, and what do you think they're going to be?
Oh, with what they said they're going to be doing to the new system, you know, changing up combat and whatnot, I don't think it wouldn't be unheard of that we might see a new Dancer, or Dancer make a comeback, which would be super hype. I would love that. I think it'd be a sort of supportive role, buffing and healing. It'd be probably a hero class. But if they add, because I've heard there's speculation they might add different specs to Final Fantasy.
Yeah, they're completely overhauling the battle system.
So I guess it'd be one of those things we'll have to wait and see. But I could definitely see it being a healer support role, and possibly a caster role to an extent. Heck, maybe even instead of a caster, it could be a DPS role.
Well, they've already... Yoshi P has already pretty much confirmed, because of his Scarlet Witch shirt, that Red Mage is going to be in the expansion. Because if anybody recalls, before Heavensward, he wore a Dark Knight Returns shirt to FanFest, and that was his nod saying that Dark Knight was going to be a new class. So, what's Scarlet Witch? Red Mage.
I'll have to get a little bit more hype. I wasn't a huge fan of red mages back in 11, and I don't know how much I'll like them now in 14, so...
I have a feeling that red mage will be a caster job, and not...
Yeah.
Everybody says it's going to be a tank class. I disagree. I think it's going to be... It'll either be the new healer or it'll be a DPS.
See, with red mage, it would definitely support their idea of having different specs, and that would be nice.
But they have already said there will not be any support roles in the expansion. It's going to be tank, healer, DPS.
It might... I don't know, then. It'll be... I mean, that's the thing with red mage. They can do anything. I don't necessarily see how they'd be a tank, but... I mean, I guess anything's possible.
I could see them being a healer because they have access to both ends of the spectrum, and they can have white magic for healing, but at the same time they could do more DPS than Scholar, White Mage, and Astrologian, since they'll have the access to that other side.
I think it'd be nice to see Samurai make a show, but I'm not sure if it will or not.
Personally, they have neither confirmed or denied it's going to be there, but personally, I kind of think that it might make a role like Rogue and Ninja did. Like,
where
middle...
It shows up later.
Just
later
middle,
in the
just
patch.
like, yeah. Just right in the middle
That'd be
somewhere.
cool. I definitely expected we would have gotten something like that for Heaven's Ward.
You'd think so.
But at this point, I don't guess we're gonna get anything new because Heaven's Ward is almost out the door.
What about the third class? What do you think it could possibly be?
God. Oh. There's so many classes in Final Fantasy. What if... I'm trying to think of the region and what would fit thematically. You don't think we could possibly see a blue mage?
I think it could happen sometime in the future, but I don't think it's going to happen in 4.0. Now, my big question is, have you finished the content for 3.4? If not, you really need to get on that.
I think I'm like a quest or two behind, because I did the ones that unlocked all the dungeons.
Have you fought the Warriors of Darkness yet?
Not yet.
Shit, that means I can't go into this, because I don't want to spoil it for you. I'm just going to say this. When you get there and you actually do it, it kind of makes me wonder what class Alice actually is. Because Binding Coil of Bahamut, she's obviously a scholar, but at this point she has evolved into something else.
I mean, she could be the prelude to something. I'd have to see her abilities for myself, but I don't know. Like I said, there's literally just the biggest array of classes that Square could pull from to bring into this expansion. So it's so hard to think of what a good DPS class or possible tank class they could pull for would be.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here.
They can make something completely new too.
That would be
like,
pretty cool.
They don't even have to pull. They could just make something out of thin, you know.
A lot of people have speculated that Beastmaster is going to be the third class. I don't see it happening. I see it coming sometime in the future, but I don't see it being in 3 or 4.0.
I would love that because I'm a huge pet class fan. But
I want Puppet Master. I want Puppet Master so bad.
Puppet Master could fit. I could see it. But would they still have the same little puppets that they did in 11, since they're kind of pets in this game now?
I would hope so. I would be totally cool with that. Make it a more like a GG size.
Yeah. I'd be down with that. I don't know, like...
Make it go off of maybe the monk tree or the pugilist tree or whatever you want to call it.
I don't know. It'd be kind of neat if it had like 3 different specs where it could be a little healer, a little tank, or a little DPSer.
I mean, I think it would be awesome myself. I mean, Summoner 2.0,
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah, like nothing like groundbreaking where like they could be the healer for your group, but I think it'd be nice that like you could be a DPS and then it would be there still doing damage.
Make it more for the solo player.
Yeah. Well, I mean, even in parties, like if it threw out like a nice little heal, like maybe nothing too big, but it might be nice if it was, you know, something just like a little bit of a stress reliever for healers and big fights and stuff, you know?
Make it to where one of those things where, you know, if you lose your healer in the duty finder, you could supplement it in a pinch.
Yeah, it could be a clutch healer.
I would be cool with that. But here are my picks for what I'm thinking 4.0 are going to be. Red Mage is pretty much a given because Yoshi P's. I'm sorry, the Scarlet Witch shirt just said it right off the bat for me.
He's subtle in a not subtle way.
Very much so. And I honestly think that it's going to be the healer class. You know, y'all can crucify me all you want to. That's just personal opinion. And the fastest way to get killed on the internet is having an opinion. But there's mine. Dancer is another one of my picks, and I think it's going to be the tank class.
I could see that. Evasion.
Yep. They say they're overhauling the battle system. They're talking like either getting rid of parry altogether or revamping it. I don't see why they couldn't add an evasion stat.
I can see it just dancing around the enemy. That'd be kind of cool.
And see, the thing about it is in the lore, the dancer type class, I think they're called sword dancers.
Yeah.
Came from Alamigo.
So, I mean, it would make more sense.
I mean, it would make the most sense. Why not? And if they call it something, if they don't call it dancer, I could see them calling it something like dervish. Like straight out of,
like a whirling dervish?
Yeah, like a whirling dervish straight out of Dungeons and Dragons.
Because
it's the same. It is the same exact concept.
Yeah. Just a super finesse tank. I'd be real okay with that.
I'd be perfectly fine with that. Use the steps to keep hate. You know, do like an 11 build flourishes and shit like that. To have
probably
sort
have a few moves that make them like more evasive and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it won't evade every single attack, but
it would get the bulk of them.
Yeah. It could be like kind of like the parry stat where you evade so much of an attack and you might get a scratch or something.
Yeah, I can dig that.
I mean, you know, anything's better than nothing.
That could be like their block.
Yeah. And have it use daggers or swords or a combination thereof. I would be totally okay with that. And for the third class...
So it's your number 3.
I'm going to go out on a limb. Just like I was talking about Alice and wanting to know what she was. She might be a red mage, I don't know. But I'm leaning on the lines of a spell sword.
That'd be kind of cool. Mystic Blade?
Yeah.
I can dig that too.
And I can see it being a DPS
there's
class.
nothing anything really like it either. So it could make a good fit.
I mean, it's I think it would be cool, personally.
Now, while we were talking, I thought of a class, and it probably won't happen, but I think it'd be real fire if we got my favorite of all the mages, the Time Mage.
Okay, now that's a hot button issue right there because Ethis Asher, I don't know if you're familiar with his content or not. Ethis is really, really cool. I think he's an Aussie player. Talks about Alexander introduces the concept of time magic. I know you haven't done the Alexander stuff, and we need to get on that. But Alexander introduces the concept of time magic, and I honestly think that time mage would be a viable class in the future.
Well, if you think about it, they typically, like, I mean, they'd have haste and slow. Like, they could have cure magics. They'd learn DPS magics. They could fit a wider range of roles depending on how Square wanted to go with it.
Very much so. You could take all of the elements of White Mage from Final Fantasy XI and previous games and throw it into one class. Shit, I wouldn't mind seeing Sage in the game.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That was another respectable old school class.
And to end the show off, JD, favorite class of all time.
Of all time?
Of all time.
Mm. Oh, that's a hard call. There's so many good ones. I'd probably have to go with Dragoon because they're still top tier for me.
Bigger.
All the old school Final Fantasies, they were always so good with their jumps and whatnot.
All right. Final question, since you said Dragoon, Ricard or Kane? Father or son?
Bro, Kane all day. All day. My boy.
Man after my own heart here. I did enjoy Ricard in Final Fantasy II.
He wasn't Kane though.
I do enjoy the fact that he is Kane's adopted father. Spoiler alert for anybody who doesn't know that.
Yet again, though, kind of like Final Fantasy XI.
Yep.
You've had plenty of time to learn that.
You've had since '87 to. You've had time. You've had time. I mean, if 29 years is not enough time, sorry. Too soon?
Nah, it's fine.
Alright, folks, that's all the time we've got for this. This is the first episode of Eyes on Eorzea Untamed. I'm your host, the Great Yami Sam. Big thanks to JD for coming out today. Thank you, JD, so much for coming and joining me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. It's been fun. I
look
forward to more of these.
And I would be happy to have you back as a guest sometime in the very near future. And for all of us here that work on Eyes on Eorzea, Sari included, miss you, Sari. Hope to see you soon. Stay classy, Eorzea. Thanks for watching.